Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to TTVNEWS with some last events in our province, and here are our stories today. The government has just approved the program to support the private sector businesses to do sustainable business for the period of 2022 to 2025 to sustainably develop private sector businesses, ensuring the close, reasonable, and harmonious combination between economic efficiencies and social responsibility, as well as protecting natural resources and environment, contributing to the accomplishment of Vietnam's 7 Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. According to the program, it will support the development of on lists for 10 industry, tools, and solutions to measure, evaluate, and recognize sustainable business enterprises. At the same time, supporting about 10,000 private sector businesses to do sustainable business, contribute to achieving the energy saving for about 5 to 7% of the total national energy consumption, increase labor productivity by about 7% per year on average, forming a database and developing an ecosystem to support sustainable business enterprises. Building typical successful and sustainable business models to spread and encourage businesses to develop sustainably, attract legal resources, especially from a business community, to implement initiatives towards sustainable business. According to decision number 167, striving to 2025, to raise the awareness of the business community in the private sector about the role, meaning, and importance of sustainable business, fostering and raising awareness and qualification of current civil servants and public employees to meet the needs of support, advice, and management of sustainable business. The subject is private sector businesses that conduct sustainable business, organizations promoting sustainable business development, research institute, university, non-business units, enterprises, organizations with legal status that carry out activities to support and promote sustainable business enterprises. Ministry, central agencies, People's Committee of Provinces, and centrally run cities, affiliated units, organizations, and associations assigned to implement the program's activities. The program will implement 3 main activities: developing a sustainable business support ecosystem, supporting sustainable business enterprises, program management activities. In addition, supporting domestic and foreign in-depth training and coaching on the application and development of sustainable business models, as well as technology support.
In the afternoon of February 10th, the People's Committee of the Ninh Province awarded the decision on investment policy and at the same time approved the investor Xuân Cầu Co Limited to implement the Dầu Tiếng Solar Power Plant Project 5.1 and 5.2. The location of the project is in Sudakamun, Yumenchau District. Investment capital for these 2 projects. The projects are located in Sudakamun, Yumenchau District. The investment capital for these 2 projects is over $300 million. Speaking at the ceremony, Mr. Tô Dũng, chairman of the Members Council of Xuân Cầu Co Limited, said that this is a special occasion for the company to receive an important decision in 2016 on the occasion of attending the conference on developing high-tech agriculture, organic agriculture, opened an opportunity for investors. When decided to implement the project, the company made efforts and completed the Dầu Tiếng Solar Power Plant 1, 2, 3. The success of the project gave the company confidence to continue investing and expect the completion of the Dầu Tiếng Solar Power Plant Project 5.1 and 5.2, according to the investment policy of the province.
According to the Ministry of Labor, Welfare and Social Affairs, the 4 outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic has greatly affected the people's labor, employment, and social security issues. It is estimated that the number of people who lost their jobs accounted for about 5% and about 32% of the people who had to temporarily stop or suspend production and business. Nearly 50% of the people have their working hours cut or forced to take time off from work or take breaks. This is a significant reduction and weakening the purchasing power of the market and negatively affecting the workers' life. The data shows that in the implementation of Resolution number 68, according to the report from the Department of Labor and Values and Social Affairs of 63 provinces and cities nationwide in 2021, the total funding for the implementation of Resolution number 68 and Decision number 23 nationwide is about 36 trillion Vietnam dong, supporting over 31.3 million subjects. Some localities with a high total support for budgets are Bình Dương with more than 4,400 billion Vietnam dong, Dong Nai with about 3,000 billion Vietnam dong, Hanoi with 2,200 billion Vietnam dong, and Tay Ninh province with about 534 billion Vietnam dong. And currently entering the dry season, there are many potential risks of fire and explosion, so the functional departments and authorities of Hoa Thanh town focus on propagating and mobilizing the people, especially small traders in local markets, to raise awareness of fire prevention and avoidance of risks. Going to the traditional markets these days, it is easy to get a busy atmosphere of bustling and crowded buyers and sellers after the Lunar New Year holiday, which is also a condition prone to fire and explosion situation if there is a mistake. Lieutenant Colonel Trần Văn Danh, captain of police team of fire prevention and fighting and rescue of the Hoa Thanh town police, said that over the past time, the force has regularly coordinated with the management board of the markets to strengthen propaganda, inspect and remind small business households, especially those prone to fire explosion, such as food, groceries, gas, electrical equipment, clothing, strictly observe regulations on fire prevention, firefighting. At the same time, for small businesses to commit to do well to perform the work of ensuring the fire and explosion safety at business location. On the other hand, the Market Management Board also actively develop firefighting plans, consolidate and raise the quality of the grassroots firefighting team, and ensure that the forces and means are on standby, ready and timely to respond to the fire explosion or incidents. At the same time, broadcast propaganda to remind the small businesses and the people to comply with the law on fire prevention and fighting, determined not to let the fire and explosion happen in order to ensure the safety for the life and the common property. After receiving an e-message from Ministry of Industry and Trade on strengthening inspection and handling for violation on the petroleum business, the Market Management Department of Tay Ninh Province has inspected and supervised a total of about 384 petrol stations in the province. During the launch from January the 31st to February the 10th, the Market Management team supervised about 384 petrol stations in the whole province. As a result, the petrol station operates normally and have not detected speculation, hoarding, and unreasonable price increases. Through real estate inspection, about 15 petrol stations closed due to running out of petrol, 1 petrol station closed due to the process of transferring owners, and 1 closed due to the completing procedures for reissuance of certificates of eligibility to retail petrol tannoy. By February the 10th of 2022, the petrol stations, after importing additional fuel sources, reopened to supply the consumers. Monitoring and grasping the situation, checking the observance of regulation in petroleum business will continue to be promoted in the coming time, prevent hoarding of goods and creating a scarcity of petroleum supplies, comply to protecting the interests of the consumers. And ladies and gentlemen, with the implementation of the National Target Program of Building a New Style Rural Area, the lives of rural people across the country as well as Tay Ninh province are getting better and better. And this encourages them to continue to support the government and the local government efforts to make the countryside more prosperous, civilized and livable. In 2021, Tay Ninh Province People's Committee set a goal of having 10 more communes that meet new style rural areas building criteria. However, with the high consensus and determination of the whole political system and the spirit of overcoming difficulties of each locality, by the end of the year, 10 more communes in the province have been recognized as new style rural areas. Specifically, the whole province has maintained about 45 over 71 communes have met the standards of rural areas, and one commune has reached the standard of advanced rural areas, and strive to add 10 more communes to meet the new rural standards, and increasing the total number of communes meeting the standards by the end of 2021 to about 55 over 71 communes, and to increase 7 more communes to meet the advanced rural standards. Accumulated by the end of 2021, there are about 8 over 71 communes. In addition, in 2021, the province also have more locality to complete the task of building a new rural area, which is Tay Ninh City. Meanwhile, Tay Ninh City also strives that in 2022, there will be one more commune meeting newly enhanced rural standards as Bình Minh Commune, Thanh Tân Commune in 2023, and Tân Bình Commune in 2024. We're reaching the new enhanced rural standards, and by 2025, 2/3 of communes as Bình Minh and Thanh Tân will meet the new model rural standard. And when starting the implementation of the National Target Program on New Style Rural Areas, building on communes had a very low starting point. Locals had a poor material and spiritual lives, mainly depending on agricultural production. The socio-economic infrastructure did not meet the development requirements, with transport difficulties being a big obstacle for communes. However, with the efforts and persistence of the party committees and authorities at all levels and the active support of the local people, the emulation movement on new style rural area building has brought effective results. The most prominent feature is that the rural socio-economic infrastructure has been invested and upgraded. Specifically, the province has invested over 2,200 kilometers of rural roads, mobilized people to contribute to more than 110,000 working days to complete 58 kilometers of rural roads, invested more than 2.4 billion Vietnam dong to install over 8,000 light bulbs to light up the country roads. And with the positive result achieved, Tay Ninh continues to carry out the emulation movement and enjoys hand to build new rural areas in the period of 2021 to 2025, with the goal of striving to have about 26 communes meet the standard of rural areas, including 2 border communes. 36 communes meet the standards of advanced rural communes, including 10 border communes. In parallel, the province strives to have about 12 standard model communes, including 2 border communes, and there are 6 districts that meet the standards of rural areas. Meanwhile, the Mang Thao to complete the task of building new rural areas with 100% of communes and wards meet the standards, improving the quality of life for rural residents. The average income by 2025 will be 1.8 times that of 2020. The People Committee of District Thao and Tay Ninh City continue improving the quality of awareness campaigns and organizing emulation movements from the district to village levels, mobilizing and diversifying the resources to complete and improve the quality of criteria in accordance with sets of criteria of advanced new style rural communes, model new style rural communes, model new style rural residential areas, and model gardens. Attention will also be paid to speeding up the implementation of the agricultural restructuring project in association with industry development, attract investment from enterprises expanding production links associated with a value chain and creating favorable conditions for the sales of agricultural products and investment attraction. And up to now, Tay Ninh has widely implemented the National Target Program on new style rural construction and made profound changes. The mechanism and policies of the province in the construction of new rural areas have brought into full play their effectiveness, contributing to speeding up the implementation of the program's rural socio-economic infrastructure has been significantly improved and gradually meeting the development requirements. The material and spiritual life of rural people is improved, the social security is ensured, and rural appearance changed remarkably. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all for TTV News today. Thank you for joining us and see you next time.